I don't like it. I gave it a D. You know how I am with running backs, Joe.
Bijan Robinson, this dude is a star. He's very similar to me in terms of what LaDainian Tomlinson was when I remember watching LaDainian come out of TCU.
Falcons are my new favorite in the NFC South. All due respect to the Buccaneers.
We've got to talk about what went down this weekend during week 2, and I don't say this lightly. We witnessed some monumental shifts happening in real time. The Atlanta Falcons are respectably undefeated, and from what I'm seeing from my point of view is that this is not the hot start that the general public expected. We all knew Bijan Robinson was good. We all knew Bijan Robinson was that guy. We love him. We like him. He's awesome. I did not know that he was going to be this impactful so early, so quickly. And then this defense is looking phenomenal. You added players like Jesse Bates, Caden Ellis, and Calais Campbell. Who knew that the Atlanta Falcons defense would be the staple point of why they are edging out these come-from-behind victories as you did against the Green Bay Packers? But here's where it gets interesting, Atlanta Falcons fans. Listen up. Here's where the plot thickens. Despite everything, the NFC South, they're standing tall together with a 6-2 record. We are talking about a division that houses not 1, not 2, but 3 unbeaten teams. The Falcons, the Saints, and of course, the Buccaneers. This is not a joke. This is the state of play right now. The NFC South is playing legitimate competitive football. Now, I need to take a moment here to talk about these Falcons because, friends, they are quietly yet indisputably becoming a playoff caliber type of team. They are the team that demands, not ask, demands attention. This is a squad brimming with young talent all around. A lethal defense is in Atlanta. Let's go back to week 1. The Falcons, they open up at home against the Panthers, and we begin the Desmond Ridder era. A guy who's got a lot of talent and a lot of eyes on him. What the Falcons have here is something pretty special. A kind of offense that is tailored to work with a quarterback's strengths. We're talking about Bijan Robinson, who I believe at this point right now is already a top 5 running back in the NFL. And then we head over to Tyler Allgeier, who I can make a legitimate case that he is a top 10 running back, a guy who just tore up defenses last year with over 1,000 yards rushing, alongside big names like Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Things are still weird with Kyle Pitts, we're not going to lie there, but Drake London has been turning into that first-round draft pick that we have been clamoring and waiting for. Falcons go ahead and add Jonnu Smith and this big, swole, scary Matt Collins, who made some plays on Sunday, to the mix. And what you got is a strategy that's all about keeping the turnovers low and letting your stars shine the brightest in controlled moments. But let me also highlight something right here. The defense stepped up big this game in week 1, notably the addition of Jesse Bates, that bad man out of Cincinnati, who kicked things off with a spectacular interception. I mean, what a way to say hello to Atlanta. This is a defense that last season gave up a hefty 362.1 yards a game, landing them pretty low in the league ranks. So Jesse Bates bringing in that kind of energy, that kind of game-changing performance is going to be huge for this defense. And Jesse Bates didn't stop. He was back at it again in the third quarter with another pick and a forced fumble, tallying a total of 10 tackles. The man was on fire in his debut, and there's no debate about that. Now, as we're getting to the later stages of the game, Kyle Pitts comes up with this tremendous grab in traffic, which sets up Tyler Allgeier for the touchdown, sealing a 24-10 victory for the Falcons. A solid, legitimate win, but there was this shadow, this big question mark over Drake London's near absence in the offensive strategies. Just 1 target and no catches in week 1. This is alarming. That's definitely something that they've got to look at and got to change for week 2. They got to find a way to bring him into action more because the talent is there, the potential is there, and here we go. Week 2, Falcons are holding down the fort at home against the Green Bay Packers, team that came in with a serious momentum after dominating the Bears. Jordan Love, the guy everybody's watching, led the Packers, who were all geared up to show what they're made of. Now the Falcons, they kind of flipped the script here from their season opener. In week 1, it was all about Tyler Allgeier, but this time around in week 2, it was all about Bijan Robinson. The man was everywhere. 19 rushing attempts, 4 receptions, a true affirmation of why the Falcons picked him 8th overall in the draft. The Atlanta Falcons are running heavy this season, and they want you to know that Bijan Robinson is going to be leading the pack. And the Atlanta Falcons, the beautiful, beautiful thing about the offense is that they want you to know that they're running the ball. They want you to know that they're bringing legitimate old school dominance. But of course, you cannot win championships championships, in my personal opinion, today in this game, unless the quarterback position is right. So, of course, we got to talk about Desmond Ridder. The guy showed promise in the opener with a remarkable 83.3 completion percentage from 18 passes, but against the Packers, things were a bit tougher. 32 attempts, but they success rate that, let's be honest, left something to be desired. But the beautiful thing about it is that he wasn't backing down. Yes, there were mistakes, a poor read here and there, a dropped interception that definitely could have hurt him more, including that one that could have been snagged by Jair Alexander, but Ridder displayed heart, especially on the ground, with 10 rushes for 39 yards. Fashion that we witnessed from the Falcons. The Falcons were trailing 24-12 in that final quarter. 12 points, but they clawed back, showcasing a level of resilience that speaks volumes about this team's character. Ridder, despite his youth, showed up when it mattered most, securing a win with a critical touchdown. A tight win, no doubt, with a 25-24 scoreline, but a win is a win. So what happens now, Atlanta? Do you go back into your old ways? Do you go back into the narrative before week 1 that you were on the outside looking in of the elite teams? Arthur Smith, you are in a position to do great things with your offense. The simple fact that Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier are running the ball at an effective rate, the offensive line is all there and intact, and the defense, the surprisingly dominant and aggressive defense, is here for you early in the season. Only time can tell how much maturation the defense is going to see later in the season. Now, Falcons fans, this is not the last time that you have been 2-0. The last time you were 2-0 was September 17th, 2017, and the way that season ended, it's bittersweet because that 2017 season, you guys end up in the Super Bowl, have a commanding lead at halftime. If only NRG Stadium had a policy about animals in the building, it would have saved you from the unfortunate embarrassment of a GOAT coming back and sealing a Super Bowl championship. But now, a new story can be written. Desmond Ridder can 100% sharpen his skills throughout the season, become more and more confident in his role as problems and disruptions for opposing defenses. And then Kyle Pitts, Drake London. The talent is there from the receiving core. Just more consistency is all to be had. The Atlanta Falcons are in a legitimate spot to shock the world, to make historical moments. So Atlanta, the ball's on your court. You guys are now the hunted. This is the first time in a very long time that I genuinely believe that the Atlanta Falcons are the most dominant and in control team in the NFC South. How this season ends is completely in your hands. But Atlanta fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe in your team? Do you believe in Desmond Ridder? Will Bijan take you to the promised land? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe.